Any good acting has behavior with it.
Nate, why? Why such bitterness? What have I done to you? Get out! You're no nephew of mine. As far as I'm concerned, you're as dead as that wretched Cermak.
You have to embellish the words with a certain amount of gravity. Because we're talking about things that are really important here, that are kind of secret. There's a natural kind of darkness when you talk about noir. You know, it's great. I love it.
Well, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Laser Bob coming at you from 1987. And yes, it is me, your Pharaoh of Physical Media, Robert Meyer Burnett, and I'm coming at you, you imagination connoisseurs, you members of this, the Post-Geek Singularity community. This is Let's Get Physical Media episode 236 or something like that, season 6. Still going strong. I'm back from CinemaCon. Talk about that in a minute. Talk about that later. Talk about what I've seen. Talk about what, I could talk about me. I could. You could listen, but you don't really want to do that. You're sick of listening to me. You know why you watch this show, and it's from magic. It's from magic that comes to us from an old country, from Germania, that actually Maximus defeated at the beginning of Gladiator, which looks great on 4K. You know him, you love him. He's all the way from Saarbrücken, Deutschland. He is Mr. Dieter Bastian.
Well, Rob, at first, let me say to the bad Canadian kid, his wife, Dr. Ann Campier, yourself, and all the co-workers, thank you for the CinemaCon coverage that you did, all the inside scoops, what we will be getting in the future. Even if I know personally that you were slightly disappointed by Universal because they didn't had Gabby's Dollhouse 2 queued up for you as a sequel. And I say, greetings, imagination connoisseurs, Dieter here, I'm Rocky Lygerken, and welcome to the B&B Motel, where we don't stream in Infinity Vision, but we will do our best to at least keep it HD properly. And Rob, considering CinemaCon, we know that it's more actually for theater owners. Do you think they were happy with the slate that they gotten from the studios?
No, absolutely. I think that, look, it was a pretty strong CinemaCon. A lot of really interesting films that everybody, you've heard if you've read the internet what people think about the big movies that are coming out, all the big tentpole movies. But there was some stuff coming out from the studios that you don't want to sleep on. One of them was Aaron Sorkin's follow-up to The Social Network, The Social Reckoning. Yeah. That movie looks great. But there's a movie, I think it's called I Am Rocky, and it's a biopic about the making of Rocky, the movie Rocky Balboa. And the guy who played Al Pacino in The Offer, the TV series about the making of The Godfather, who played Al Pacino, he plays Sylvester Stallone in I Am Rocky, and he looks terrific in it. That movie looked great. Of course, we waxed rhapsodic about Whale Fall, which is just fucking bananas, which you should like, even though there's not a shark in it, as far as I know. Okay. There's a whale.
I heard about the
squid and the whale.
You were describing on CinemaCon.
It was insane, absolutely bonkers in the very best way. So there was that, and there was just, and of course, all the big movies that we know are coming out all looked pretty good. But yeah, there's the director of The Wailing, the Korean film The Wailing, has a new movie coming out. I think it's called Hope, with husband and wife Michael Fassbender and Alicia Vikander, and they play Vikander. They play aliens who have invaded the Korean DMZ. It's debuting. Good to me,
Rob. I'm in.
I know it's debuting at Cannes, and if you've seen The Wailing, which is fucking dope, great on 4K, by the way. I think that's coming out from Neon.
Okay.
Great stuff. I mean, there's a lot of really cool things to look forward to. Another movie, I never get the title right, but it stars Jessica Chastain. It's like the second mommy, the second mother.
Yeah. I heard about that.
Looks great.
Okay.
There's a lot of great horror titles. Evil Dead Burn. They showed a trailer that's not the one that's playing before the Mummy, but it looks fantastic. And yeah, there's a lot of great horror stuff coming. Werewolf, Robert Eggers' Werewolf, looks like a cross between The Witch and Nosferatu. Count me in.
Okay.
But
this was the first CinemaCon, Rob, where you actually didn't get to see one movie on a whole. Am I right, Rob?
They did screen. I didn't go see it. They did screen DreamWorks' upcoming animated film Forbidden Island, which was only
John reported about, but the movie is not finished.
Right, it was only about 75% finished. It doesn't come out until September, but everybody loved it. Everybody who saw it thought it was just great, and so I didn't go. I don't know why I didn't go. I just wasn't.
It was pretty early in the morning. I remember, Rob.
Yeah, but it wasn't. I mean, we get up early. I mean, I tend to get up every day at about 7:30, even if I party till 3 in the morning. It's like but we didn't party till 3 in the morning. We did the John Campea show till close to 3 in the morning at one point.
Exactly. And one question that I wanted to ask you: considering the place, the venue, do you have assigned seatings there with your bed?
No. So that is one of the fun things about CinemaCon. Is everybody likes to sit where they want to sit, and everybody's battling for their seats. Yeah. We have a very specific place that we love to sit, and it's usually hard. This year was easier than previous years because there was a lot of newbies that hadn't figured out how to get quickly to where you're going. Okay. So everybody joked that I was like a linebacker, or like I was playing football, because I would zip through the crowd. I mean, when those doors opened, I would wait and be at the front, because I couldn't abide not getting my seats. And then there's a certain way to get there that people don't realize. And especially this year, nobody realized it. So I zipped quickly, and I was running. I mean, I'm kind of running, but I go fast. There's a lot of dawdlers. Yeah. There was more dawdlers this year. There's people that weren't. Every year there's a new crop of people. So, but I was able to nab our seats every single time.
Okay.
So we sit very...
You have even a nice T-shirt from CinemaCon.
Yeah,
mine's in the mail.
And it has. They gave these out at the Warner Brothers panel, and I figured I'd wear it. I wore it on Friday when I saw the Mummy, but I put it on today. On the back, it's got all the list. It's got Warner Brothers slate for the next 2 years,
like tour dates.
Yeah,
almost like tour dates.
It's like a tour shirt. Yeah, and there were things. There was a lot of things, like I was a little underwhelmed by the Supergirl footage. We had a long conversation about the space bus.
Yeah. I know your specifics, Rob, about the bus scene. Where's the bus driving to?
I just
workers doing that day-to-day job.
Well, to me, I look at it as world building, and it was an opportunity that they did not avail themselves of. So I was a little bummed out about that, but it looked fine. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. It was really great to see Christopher Nolan and Steven Spielberg both at the Universal panel. I will tell you this. They showed an extended Disclosure Day trailer that explains a little bit more of the story than we've seen. I am very excited. And Spielberg says there's nothing in the trailers that show anything from the third act of the movie.
As it should be, Rob.
I agree. It looks like it's going to be incredible. And I've been watching a lot of disclosure stuff lately.
Yeah.
And just online speculate. Look, I've been a UFO nerd since I was a little kid. And Spielberg flat out said, when I made Close Encounters 50 years ago, next year it's its 50th anniversary, it was all speculation. He said, this movie, he thinks it has a lot more truth than fiction in it. So, and what was interesting when the movie was getting made, there was an inordinate amount of security around the making of the movie that industry people that I was interviewing for designing Hollywood and things like that were commenting on. Like, people were saying, I don't know what's going on with the new Spielberg movie, but they're acting like it's got state secrets. Well, if you've been following the story, 11 scientists, high-ranking nuclear scientists, high-ranking members of our scientific and governmental community and Air Force general, in the last 3 years, 11 people have disappeared under mysterious circumstances in real life surrounding the UAP phenomenon. And, you know, there in certain UFO circles, people are saying that Spielberg's movie might point to that. And there was a great video I posted on Twitter. Even Bob Lazar said one of the things about disclosure, if it's real, one of the problems and the reason why they don't want to tell us is because disclosure would be, the idea of it, what's really going on, would be, I love this word, undigestible to the human population. Undigestible, meaning that to know the truth would throw humanity into a completely existential crisis. And there was a word that I think Bob Lazar saw on a report that classified Hector, is it not? I say Hector, Elizondo drew up. Well, the Bob Lazar word that was on some report that he saw was that human beings are containers. And then Elizondo drew a Venn diagram. On one side was consciousness, and on the other side was quantum states or the quantum realm, and they passed over. And this idea that consciousness is something that is like the humans are just vessels to carry consciousness that doesn't belong to us. And I'm like, hey, I'm all for that. Throw me into an existential conundrum. If I realize that nothing that I do matters.
Do I need to watch the end of Fire at the Sky again?
Well, yeah,
I'm prepared,
I think that all of our ideas of aliens and UFOs are sort of been misconstrued by this different idea. But look, it looks like there is a shot. I can say this. I'm going to say this because why not? They showed it to everybody. There was a shot at the end of the Disclosure trailer when you see that there's like a little girl and with light shining over her. You know, you see the deers, like there's deer walking. Okay. There's a shot. It's a single shot where you're looking at this deer who's looking over this girl on a table, like an examination table, and the deer's looking over, and the camera comes over the top of the deer's face, and as it does, you can't really see, but when the camera comes back down and settles, it's not a deer at all. It's an alien face that's now close up to the girl. It was awesome. And there was another shot of a jet fighter, like a jet fighter flanking a giant UAP. And there were fucking gray aliens in the trailer. And I'm like, I'm fucking in, bro. I am so in.
Oh, okay.
Fulfill my alien dreams,
date,
Steve.
Actually, of Disclosure Day. I don't know the release date
at the moment. I think it's
will it come out?
July. It's June or July.
Okay.
But you know what?
Somewhere in the summer.
Yeah, don't care. I'm in. I'll watch anything with UFOs and aliens.
Certainly. And back to what has started this weekend. My niece wanted to go, and I said, okay, I'll go with you. I watched, Rob, the big one, Lee Cronin's The Mummy.
As did I.
And perhaps, Rob, you heard about most of the reviews already, and it's true what they are saying. It's more like Evil Dead Exorcist potpourri with a mummy veneer around it. So for me, the big takeaway is, once again, the movie is too long, as we often these days, need to recognize it is too long, considering the topic. And for me, it was what you are selling, Rob. For me, is The Mummy, and I didn't get much of The Mummy. And for me, the movie was not really scary or anything or creepy. And when you can't do that, Rob, what are you going to do? You're depending on the sound design,
Which is pretty great.
All your chips, Yeah, you put all your chips on the sound design, which had to do the heavy lifting for the movie. And there was a scene where the young daughter gets a big flesh wound at her leg, and they bandaged her. And I thought, oh, okay, now we will get something here. We will get more of this kind of more bandaging, turning her into a mummy. No, that didn't happen. So I was way off, Rob. So for me, it's in that kind of, yeah, it's fine, can watch it. And I was surprised. I think I told you last week, it has an 18 certificate here in Germany and in the UK, which these days you have to put in some nice score to get that certificate. While it is earned, there was nothing that will perhaps really shock you, Rob, considering the stuff that we have already seen, over the years. So for me, it's a case by case cases. If you want to see it, you can, but don't expect actually really a mummy movie that I was really looking forward to. It was more like, Evil Dead, more exorcist stuff than actually mummy stuff. So for me, mixed bag.
I saw it as well. Alvaro and I went and saw it, and I liked some of the horror scenes. They're well directed. They're a lot of fun. Very much like you said, Evil Dead. I just couldn't get past the monumental stupidity of everybody in the movie. I mean,
that's a problem for a lot of people, Rob.
Okay, there were so many things that drove me crazy. First of all, there is you find out that there's this secret society, this family that has been protecting the world from this ancient 4,000-year-old Egyptian demon that specifically destroys families.
And Rob, sorry to interrupt. I saw one reviewer, and I thought the exact same thing. That family is more interesting, actually, than the family that we got.
Way more interesting. They're more interesting in the beginning. But here was my problem. If they know that this demon, you've got this sarcophagus that weighs thousands and thousands of pounds, that they need a whole ball, tackle, and just lift off the roof. Then they have to move it. And this plane crash, and it was perhaps the dumbest plane crash I've ever seen in any movie. At one point, this plane literally falls straight out of the sky and crashes. Well, if that plane crashed and they knew that this Egyptian demon with this sarcophagus, where they find this girl, why wouldn't that secret society go back and acquire, they just are like, oh, well, the plane crashed. I guess with this thing we've been protecting for 82 generations, let somebody else deal with it. Because they find it, they open it up, they take the girl out, and she's hospitalized. And you look at this girl, Dieter, let me ask you this. Knowing what you know at what that girl looks like, and remember, they didn't even bother to unwrap all of the things that were embedded in her skin. They're just like, you need to take her home. Just take her home. I'm like, this girl needs some
rest, Rob, but she needs rest. She will get back to normal.
I'm watching this. I'm like, what? There was so much stupidity and so many things that were. I'm waiting for somebody to have some common sense. Like, perhaps we're not equipped. I mean, when they're cutting her nails and they tear off that huge strip of, did anybody worry about the fact that this is embedded in her skin? I'm just sitting there going, these people are dumb. And I hate it. I hate it when these situations, it's as if they live in a world where no one's ever seen a horror movie before. You have to believe that no one in this film has ever gone, this is kind of supernatural what's going on here. And then it was like, this demon has telepathy, and it can control people when they're in school. I mean, there was no rules set up for this. There was no...
world building.
And no, there was no... And when they did do the world building, it seemed to me... it was just all over the place. This movie, the script felt like a first draft, and I wanted it to be good. I really did. But there was so... And they would do things like, the father's in a room watching his daughter levitate the wheelchair that she's sitting in, and then it cuts to like a week later. And you're like, wait, your daughter's levitating in a chair, and you're not calling anybody? Like, you're not going, perhaps, maybe we should call an exorcist or somebody. And then it looked like these scenes were reshoots where he goes to consult this British Egyptologist that apparently somebody on Twitter goes, well, that Egyptologist is a real...
Which were only there for that one scene, if I remember
Two different scenes. Two different scenes, I think. And you're like, you didn't bring him to the house? like, you don't go and maybe you should come take a look at what we've got here? Where did you find these things? Oh, I don't know. I unwrapped them from my daughter's skin after she'd been buried in an 8,000-year-old sarcophagus. I mean, I just half the time I kept turning to Alvaro going, really? And I know a lot of people have said, this is the scariest movie. There's people on Twitter that's like, this is the most awesome film. I'm like, you people need to read a book. Because the plotting of this movie, and I don't mean it was plotting, P-L-O-D-D-I-N-G, but I'm talking about plotting, P-L-O-T-T-I-N-G. You can't, when your protagonists are stupid, and when you just decide that the passage of time doesn't matter, and like they set up a thing at the beginning of the movie where the daughter's talking about the father's when he's doing reporting because he's a reporter he's a television reporter. They had a whole bit in the beginning where they talk about his hands moving. He gesticulates
like myself, Rob. Yeah,
Yeah, they never went back to that. So what was about? Why even put that in the movie? I thought it was. I kept waiting for it to play, and then of course another thing that they missed was you had of course the Mexican mother, the mother-in-law, the grandmother. And you had a moment where she's using, her Catholicism. She's calling upon her faith, and they didn't. Yeah. There was they could have shown how two different religious beliefs clashed, and how this much more ancient belief system, this much more ancient demon, was able to fuck Catholicism, which it kind of did because the grandmother was possessed. Yeah. I mean, the grandmother gets thrown out a window. And at her funeral, the mummy girl crawls through the ceiling. The abuelita comes back to life and turns into an Evil Dead demon. Another creature, a deadite, and the other little girl that's pulled all of her teeth out. Like one of them bites a priest, and they never called the authorities. Everybody that was at this wake just went home. Gosh, that was a really weird wake.
Rob. A wake party.
It was the Evil Dead show up, and a priest was. I mean, what? I couldn't. It was just. Yeah.
I get it, Rob. I get it. But considering the movie itself, what I forgot, Rob. Because if I counted correctly, we only gotten really visible 2 kills in 130 minutes. Am I correct, Rob? At the beginning and the grandma.
Yeah, that's right. Only 2 kills, Rob. and then at the end of the well, I won't say it, but it was very disappointing overall. But it was really well made. Lee Cronin knows how to make a movie, but. When John Carpenter started putting his name on movies, like you got Halloween and The Fog and Escape from New York and The Thing, I don't think Lee Cronin has earned the right yet to put his name above the title. And he certainly hasn't on this one. But hey, maybe it gets him some more money. You go, Lee Cronin. Maybe your next one will be better. But you know what? I would like to see a mummy movie that actually has a mummy in it.
The question is, did you do a double feature? Did you see something else too?
Yes, we did. Okay. And on the other side of the spectrum, I saw Steven Soderbergh's new movie, The Christophers, starring Ian McKellen. It was it's easily I think Project Hail Mary and The Christophers are the 2 best films I've seen so far in 2026. The Christophers is basically 2 people in a room talking. And the British actress that plays opposite Ian McKellen has one of the greatest. I think she has an African name that's really long, and then she has a stage name. her face was just mesmerizing to look at. Incredibly beautiful, incredibly great performer, and the two of them. I mean, she had to be very cold, and a lot of her acting was in her eyes, and she was so good. Ian McKellen, I mean, killed it.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's going to get an Oscar nomination for this one.
Yeah, Eric Weber said the same. He should get an Oscar nomination.
Incredible.
For his performance in that movie. Yeah.
And it's a movie about art.
Okay.
It's about painting and art.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
so the question is, Rob, considering box office, did it manage
I got the box office.
To get Mario out of the first spot, Rob?
Nope.
No?
Mario is number one. Mario made
Okay.
$35 million for a domestic total of $355.2 million. Interesting, Amazon MGM, I guess the 45-day window for Project Hail Mary, they
Got postponed to more.
Yeah,
to more.
they added 3 theaters this week, and it made
Okay.
$20.4 million this week theatrically, $20 million domestic for a total of $285 million for domestically, which is great, a great result. The drama, Robert Pattinson and Zendaya, put up another $4.8 million for a total of $39.6 million. You, Me, and Tuscany. I'm just happy I don't have to see that trailer again. $14.3 million. Hoppers, the Pixar animated film, is up to a domestic total of $161.1 million. Normal, the Bob Odenkirk movie, opened. It didn't do very well. It only did $2.6 million.
Yeah.
The BTS movie, BTS World Tour Arirang, put up $1.8 million at number 8. Number 9, Busboys with David Spade and Theo Vaughn.
Okay.
It only had a 62% with audiences on Rotten Tomatoes, but that made $1.65 million. And Booth Bangla, Fun Asia, I think it's a Hindi horror comedy. And it saw good money in Canada. It made $1 million. And The Great Awakening, whatever that is, made $6.6 million for its 3rd week. Now,
Sounds like a production from Angel Studios.
yeah, it does. I don't think it's from Angel, though. And now, internationally, we can look at these charts. Internationally, Project Hail Mary has made $537.1 million, and it made 41 point. It actually made 21 million abroad, and that was only down 33%. So that's pretty great. Let's see if they have a list. I'll read. It's not. There's no list on this article, but I'll go through it.
Yeah.
The Super Mario Galaxy movie has made $747.4 million. And that also sends the franchise, that is 2 movies, past $2 billion.
$2 billion. Yeah.
And so Hoppers is doing okay. Actually, no, hang on. Let me go down even further. I told you what Project Hail Mary got. Let's go down Hoppers has now it's open in a few territories, and it's made 14 million. That's it. It's made 14 million.
Yeah.
International.
Yeah.
And that's about it. That's all it says in this article. It doesn't give us a breakdown.
Okay.
But hey,
So we have this week, Rob, Michael, the big biopic,
which I
coming out.
expect to open huge.
Okay. Really, I heard good things about the Berlin premiere that was playing, I think, last week or a week ago. So really looking forward to it, considering we heard all about the production issues that the movie had, where they had to change stuff. Really looking forward to Michael next week.
Yeah.
Okay, Rob, should we start this? Our main topic, physical medium.
Yeah, why don't you start for us?
Okay, Rob, I go back to last week because I wanted to mention, I showed this last week, the Korean movie Yadang, The Snitch, and I quite enjoyed it, Rob, but there's a little bit of a drawback considering the edition. It has 2 discs, and I was expecting, Rob, the second disc to be for bonus features in it. But actually, Rob, it's a longer version of the movie, which unfortunately does not have English subtitles. So there's even a longer version of the movie in it. So I can't tell you if it's the better version or if the theatrical cut is the better one. But there is a longer version here in it, which unfortunately does not have English subtitles. So a little bit of a drawback here on this edition. Okay, this one, Rob, you already showed, I think, all of them last week from Kino. So I've got my Remo Williams, you gotten 2, so nothing too fancy about that. Then, of course, the Ghost Ship, or the Death Ship. And it comes actually, which perhaps Rob forgotten, it has even a little bit of a longer version on the Blu-ray, I believe. On the Blu-ray, I think, is a little bit of an extended cut. Shouldn't be that much longer. It says 91 and 93 minutes. The special edition also includes the extended cut in HD. That's shit. And then we had, Rob showed it, Runaway Train, of course. O-ring, the usual. You know how Kino does it. And then I told you, Rob, I was jealous last week. I was jealous, but now I finally got it too. The Phantom, which for me, Rob, is a perfect coffee and cake movie, which I watched this afternoon. And Rob, don't you just tell me you want that figure with the chair, with the bones, with the skulls. You need it.
I do.
Rob, considering the Phantom, can you make a connection to True Noir?
Oh, I haven't seen it in a long time. Who's in it?
Then I tell you, Rob. Because the man that you show in the beginning, Rob, of the little bit of a commercial for True Noir.
Oh, Bill Smitrovich
is in the Phantom.
Right.
He plays the owner of the newspaper, the New York Tribune, in the Phantom. Had a
All
great time.
roads lead to True Noir. Look, did we not know what we were doing?
Yeah. And here, Rob, I still have it, Laserdisc of it, which came obviously from Pioneer. Had a great time. Back in the day, it was even the THX logo, Rob, was on it. So, but I'm glad that Kino Lorber put out that stuff genre for Paramount. And even I will do that after the show. Watch the interview with Billy Zane, because I heard, Rob, it's almost half an hour long. So not just 10 minutes. So
that's
we're looking forward to that one. The Phantom. Then, Rob, you showed last week too, but as a DVD. And I can show you the Blu-ray here from Germany. Islands, but I haven't seen it, so I can't tell you anything about the movie. Unfortunately, no reversible cover art, so I have to work with the German rating here, the big sticker. So Island, but like I said, here in Germany you can get it as a Blu-ray. Then this was big on the controversy side, considering how the steelbook looked for the movie, but I finally gotten around to purchasing it. I bought Nightcrawler from Shout.
I love that movie.
And me too, Rob. And at least the Need for Speed Nightcrawler. If you're going to look at it this way. So we get the Blu-ray and the 4K. Haven't seen that movie in a long time. Really looking forward to it. Then, unfortunately, Max will not be with us today, but I'm always loving when he says, I ordered something from Diabolique. I always say Diabolic more, because this was one of the movies that I couldn't order from Synapse because it's a Synapse exclusive. And then I thought, normally I go to Amazon, but Amazon does not list that title. Then I thought, wait, Diabolic has always stuff from from those exclusive labels, and they ship internationally. So I never saw that movie, Rob, and I got the movie Tech, the assassination game, from them with Linda Hamilton and Bruce Abbott, which a lot of people from us know from Reanimator, and I really had a good time with it. It's about students. They play tag, where they kill each other, but not real until one, does it for real. And I really had a good time with tag. It comes with a versatile cover here underneath it. The transfer was really great, even if it's just a Blu-ray. The disc looks great. And then we have here this little bit of I think it's probably a poster artwork. Some rules for the game, tag note. And a little booklet was in it too. Everybody gets it in the end. And I never came across that movie from 1982. But I really had a good time. Linda Hamilton, peak Linda Hamilton.
Yeah.
And it is, even considering herself, perhaps Max would like it too, it's a little bit noirish, I would say. And there were even scenes, Rob, since this is from 1982, I got some actually Terminator vibes. A little bit. But I thoroughly enjoyed it, Rob. Tech, which is a Synapse release exclusive, actually. But I got it at Diabolic, or like Max would say, Diabolique. Then, this one, Rob, I really was happy to get this because I pre-ordered it. Then I got an email from Amazon. Do you really still want this item? And I said, yeah, I really want this item still. But it wasn't available. If you wanted to order it again, it wasn't available. But I got it. The Steelbook for what was the American title? Zootopia, because we know it has different titles all over the world. Because only in America, as far as I know, you can get it as a 4K. Because here in Germany, you only can get a Blu-ray, and I think even in the UK, you can only get it on Blu-ray. So I really wanted to have it in 4K, and then as this nice Steelbook, really nice. So I've gotten it. I was thinking, perhaps I don't get it, but sometimes we are lucky. Directed by Sue Haag. I don't think I've seen this movie. From the Criterion Collection, but the UK one, it's The Plate. It comes with the 4K and the Blu-ray, and as we know from Criterion, with a booklet, which is probably, so again, a fold out for it. So really looking forward to it, because I don't actually know the movie, The Plate, from the Criterion label. Last week I showed the Suspiria edition from Shameless, and this one is from Vinegar Syndrome, another Dario Argento movie, but it's just the normal edition, so not with all the swag. I bought a newer one from him, Sleepless, from Dario. So it comes with the 4K and the Blu-ray. You would have reversible cover artwork with the Italian title, but I like this one a little bit more gory. I like this one a little bit better, so I didn't change the artwork. So we have Sleepless. Then the next thing, I heard good things about it, but I hadn't gotten around to it. And I think it's only out in the States at the moment, with Rosamund Pike and Matthew Wright, The Hollow Road. So a little bit of a thriller. I heard, and it's not even that long. I think it's only 80 minutes. So I heard good things about it, but I haven't seen it. Just a disc. Nothing too fancy about it. Hollow Road. Then from Shout Select, I've got the movie before COVID, Outbreak, in 4K from Wolfgang Petersen. Haven't seen it in a long time. And just see, is there anything really specific? So the Blu-ray is from the 4K transfer too, which is always great. But otherwise than this, I think there's nothing, considering a new Atmos track or something like that. No, I don't think so. So Outbreak. Then a movie I watched yesterday. It's not really top Takashi Miike, so you actually can skip it. Was actually a little bit disappointing considering we know how extreme Takashi can go. So about placing fists, Miike. So nothing too fancy, just a Blu-ray. So it's about two people in juvie that then get into kickboxing and got some trouble with other gangs. So, but unfortunately, pretty mediocre, and considering the director. But he has 100 other movies on his IMDb list. You can surely find something actually better than Blazing Fists. Then one of my favorites last year from the Oscar Academy Award nominations, which totally Timothy got snubbed. I got the A24 edition of Marty Supreme, which came out from A24, shiny. So you can have him here. Another character that's perhaps not pretty likable, but for me, this movie had great forward momentum. Totally had a blast with it. It's one of my favorites from last year. And we know the A24 stuff they put in art cards here for the movie. But A24, let me just check for there's something stupid. Oh no, it has actually 2 discs. Normally I'm expecting they have always a Blu-ray and a 4K edition, but this one seems to have actually both versions in it. And then we come to Arrow, the last title for this week. I already had showed you the hard-boiled stuff, considering I already own the Shout, but this one I said, okay, I need to get the Arrow too. I've got the Killer, because unlike the Shout Factory, this contains a Blu-ray disc with different cuts of the movie, which I think the Shout didn't had in it. So we've got
No,
Boring?
it did not. And I have to tell you,
Did not.
I too
Oh, that is.
got the Killer,
Yes.
and I have made a hybridized version between
Yeah.
this. I mean, okay, first of all,
Nice.
look at the difference in covers on these. No. So, but yet the Shout Factory version uses this original artwork, which the
Which is
Arrow
great.
version
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah.
So I mixed and matched. I mixed and matched.
Mix and match, throw away the card. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. So I've mixed and matched and hybridized my versions of
Okay.
the Killer. So yeah.
But am I right, Rob? On the Shout Factory, there were no Blu-ray with different versions of the movie.
You're
They were
correct.
just
That's right.
theatrical version.
Yep.
Okay. And something very strange, Rob, as you can see from the UK, you know my favor for ratings, Rob. You know, censorship in Germany was heavy back in the day. Actually, the theatrical version is 18, but strangely, the extended cut is a 15 certificate here.
Yeah.
Why, I have no idea, Rob. So this was just when I skipped through the disc, I thought, well, wait, this is 15, the extended cut, okay, which I would assume contains mostly the same stuff that is in the other one. But it could be, Rob, the case that they didn't gotten a fresh rating for the theatrical version, but for the extended cut they had to do it. Perhaps that's the reason. And we have some cards in this edition for the Killer.
Yeah, I am not impressed with these covers. The Shout covers are not. Whereas the Arrow
I'm
cover.
quite enjoy them, Rob. They're shiny, Rob. They're shiny. And well, we have it. Obviously, we have the poster for it. And
Yeah.
Actually, Rob, let me just see that poster. I don't think this is. It's not. It's a little bit of different, I believe. Yeah, it's actually a little bit different here.
Yeah, it's
Really
cool.
nice. This is the.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't go with the other cover that was the cover of the Laserdisc for Arrow, but maybe they couldn't get the rights. I don't know.
And of course, we have the booklet for it. So this is the Arrow version for the Killer. But Rob, I believe I'm done with. That's enough for me. The Killer from Arrow and Hard Boiled. Okay. I don't.
No, you
think
need to get
considering
Bullet in the head. You need to get Bullet in the head.
Yeah. Okay.
But
But
because I've got and
then
you've
I'm
got.
done, Rob. Then I'm done.
Well,
Please read.
I mean, I got to get things like Peking Opera Blues and which I haven't got yet, and Bullet in the Head, and maybe God of Gamblers, and I have the Better Tomorrow box.
Okay.
So the John Woo stuff,
Yeah.
the John Woo stuff that I want, I have now. The classics.
Yeah, correct. Finally, Rob. Finally. That was my haul, Rob, for the week.
Well, I didn't
Putting
get.
everything-
Let's see what I got here. I got I did get a box from Kino. Not
Yeah.
a huge box, but a good box.
It's all about quality, Rob, not quantity.
Yeah, I got this movie that I didn't know anything
That's
about.
not with me, but
A movie called Jimpa, which I don't know anything about. That it's got a great cast in it, but we'll see because John Lithgow's in this.
always good. Always good.
Yeah, and Olivia
Always a
Colman.
plus.
So, I mean, Olivia Colman and John Lithgow, and it's about a queer romance or something. I don't know, but that's a great cast. Never heard of it.
Looks pretty new, actually.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
movie.
absolutely. Then the Second Twin, one of their great. They're so good about putting out, the French. This is actually from what year is it? It's from 1966, 92 minutes from Studio Canal. The Second Twin is an ultra stylish tale of passion and murder. Well, there you go, ultra stylish. I love mid 60s French films, so hey, that's good. Then this is pretty cool. Nightlife with Ben Cross and Miriam Dabo. I saw this a long time ago. I want to say this was made for TV.
Yeah.
But it must have been because this is 133-1. It's from 1989.
Yeah.
I remember
then
seeing
you're,
this.
Then you're probably spot on with the movie being made
Yeah,
for
and
television.
I don't know what this is, but it's from Universal. But I remember seeing this when it first aired, so I've seen this once. So I'll go back and watch it. Then George Papard and Orson Welles in House of Cards, not that House of Cards, a new House of Cards. This is from 1969. I didn't know anything about this. He plays an American boxer in Paris and stumbles upon an international conspiracy when hired by a mysterious woman to look after her 8-year-old son. Whatever that is. Hey, looks cool to me. Now, this again, Kino Cult, the wackiest label ever. This is in 4K, and this is Kino Cult 47. The House of Seven Corpses.
Ooh.
And then it also has, as they are wont to do, a reversible sleeve.
Nice.
Now, this is from 1973, and it has a ton of special features on it. I mean, this Kino Cult label is the most eclectic label of stuff. It says a mind-bending thriller from the golden age of satanic cinema. You know how I love my satanic cinema. The House of Seven Corpses follows a crew filming a horror movie at a crumbling mansion once home to a cabal of occultists.
There you go.
When the actors speak incantations from the Bardo Thedal, strange incidents befall the production, blurring the lines between reality and nightmare. John Ireland, who plays the headstrong director, presses forward, and leading lady Faith DeMorgue from This Island Earth, also she was in the actress playing her was in Scorsese's The Aviator. As the cameras grind, the dead claw their way from the graves at a nearby cemetery, and the house. So it's a zombie movie. It's a movie about movie making, and it's an occult thriller.
What's not to love?
What is not to love? And why wouldn't I want this? And that's in 4K. And then finally, what they sent me from Kino is Throw Mama from the Train, which Billy Crystal and Danny DeVito in 4K. This movie's always a lot of fun. I actually remember I saw this movie in the theater, liked it. Now I have it in 4K. And I think the coolest thing I got this week is from Radiance. I got Cutter's Way with Jeff Bridges, another one of their great box sets. I really like this film. And if you haven't seen it, it's also got a reversible sleeve. And the laid back.
But what says it on that cover that you showed, Rob? Was there Cutter's Way? It looked different.
Oh, this is Cutter and Bone.
Ooh.
But it's called Cutter's Way in the United States. And it comes obviously with an Obi and a really great book. I really liked this film when I saw it. I've seen this movie. I've owned this movie. I used to see this a lot in the early 80s. But this is a 4K disc. So happy to have that. Again, Radiance is another one of these great labels. I always feel we should buy everything Radiance puts out. But we showed the Stuntman last week, and I love what they're putting out. I love what Radiance is doing. So I got Cutter's Way. So there you go. Yeah. That is my haul for the week.
Do you think the layoffs that we heard, or the media department from Disney, were closing completely? But we know that Sony is actually distributing their titles. So, do you think it will change something for us?
Well, look, I think that Disney, it's weird. So for those of you who don't, I should have probably read the article, but it came out that Disney's physical media department was basically let go in their round of layoffs when they brought in their new studio head. They laid off like 1,000 people. And it makes sense if Sony's taken over their distribution. But it's not like Disney, I mean, we'll talk about it, but they've announced Alice in Wonderland coming out in 4K.
Yeah.
Disney's done nothing really with the Fox library. We got like Kingdom of Heaven. We got Master and Commander. We got the Predator Badlands movie.
Those were really the last big titles. I think.
Yeah, that was, and they're not. I mean, it's really frustrating that we're not getting those Disney titles. I wish we were, but we're not, and we're certainly not getting any more Fox deep catalog titles. Like, where's French Connection in 4K? Where's Patton in 4K? You know, where are those great titles? And a lot of other great titles we're not getting. And Disney, it seems so strange that they made so much money on physical media. They were one of the pioneering labels in VHS and obviously in DVD and Laserdiscs. And they used to put out a lot of stuff in 4K. But, I mean, the studios just, as more and more people are coming back to buying physical media, they're not really supporting it, which is really too bad. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
But what can you do?
We will see. We will see.
Yeah.
So just quick, Rob, even if you're not interested, but I want to give my 50 cents about it, considering what I've seen digitally this week. I've finished 2 sitcoms that had some kind of revival. One was bad, the other one was good. So the bad one was actually the revival of Malcolm in the Middle. Did not have much fun with this one. It's actually only 4 episodes. They call it a limited series, but it has completely through line through the 4 episodes. You could easily make it into a movie. But for me, Frankie Muniz is completely unhinged here. And after the first episode, there was a plot twist where I thought, okay, this is really, even for Malcolm, totally ridiculous. And in the third episode, we had Bryan Cranston being on drugs mostly for the runtime. So for me, this was actually not really working anymore for me, especially the fourth wall breaking that we get with Malcolm. So for me, unfortunately, not really thrilled with that. Unlike Scrubs, which it didn't reach the heights.
I heard it was really good though.
Back in the day, but considering Scrubs, this is really a nice revival. We get mostly only the three main characters back in the show, but it had still the same vibe. He's still a daydreamer, JD. So if you're a Scrubs fan, I can totally recommend watching this series, but lower your expectations a little bit. It's not the height that we are gotten from the early run, but it's still Scrubs. And the only drawback for me, Rob, is how the show looked actually. Of course, it's now shot digitally, but it had that strange look where the background is so strongly out of focus that you had it looked like the people were standing actually in front of a green screen, but they didn't. It had a strange little bit of a video look to it here and there, which was a little bit off-putting because I think the series back in the day was shot on 16 millimeter, I believe. So it's a little bit of a different vibe considering the look for it. But Scrubs was really nice. Oh, unfortunately, only 9 episodes, and I don't know if they will continue it. But for me, they actually can do that. That was the stuff that I've seen digitally, bro. So I don't know if we do have any super chats.
No, we do, but I have something that I started watching.
Yeah.
The Norwegian crime series Detective Hole.
I heard about that from a colleague of mine, from a worker, good friend of mine. He loved it. Tell me, Rob. Tell me a little bit about it.
I've watched the first 2 episodes. Detective Hole is
about a detective, I heard.
Yeah, he's kind of a drunk detective he killed his partner 5 years previously in a car crash, and now he's back on the force and he's trying to deal with.
Yeah.
And Joel Kinnaman, who plays, Ed Baldwin from All Mankind, he plays basically a really bad bent cop, really bad. He's a total villain, and I can't wait to see him get his comeuppance. I haven't finished the whole thing. I just started. It's 9 episodes, but it's great. It's really, it started great. As I said, I've watched the first 2 hours.
I heard good things about it.
Yeah, it's really, really good. And of course, for All Mankind, the 5th episode, the 4th episode dropped this week, and I watched that yet again. And Bill Hunt and Alvaro watched the first 5 episodes of Star City, and they quite enjoyed it. Said it's a very different show than For All Mankind. So that's all I've got for you there. But let's check out the super chats. Real Thomas Logan says, Bobby, now that you've seen the first 7 minutes of Dune Part 3, you must see it opening day in 1570 IMAX. Lasan Al-Gaib demands that you do. Yeah, I will. I'll probably go. For the Dune movies, I've gone to preview screenings of them, and I've seen them in IMAX. So, I'm going to go. I didn't, the tickets that went on sale for the opening day, I did not get those, but I usually see it before it opens. So, dude, the opening sequence they showed of Dune 3, did you see that I met Denis Villeneuve at CinemaCon?
I heard just the stuff that you said about Instagram. You've just had a little bit of a talk with Denis Villeneuve.
So I was with Cody Miller, who's training for the Extreme Game. So he's in Vegas. He's from Vegas, but they had to come back from the UAE because of the war. They were he was watching missiles get intercepted over the skies of Dubai. He said it was incredible. And scary as fuck. But he comes back, so he was in Vegas. He joined us again for CinemaCon like he did last year. Yep. And it was on, I want to say, the Warner presentation was on Tuesday. And on Monday, Monday I had seen, it was
the Sony
Tuesday.
Presentation?
On Monday I had seen Denis Villeneuve walked by, and he had a big entourage, and he had like 4 security guards around him. And I was like, oh my God, it's Denis Villeneuve. But as I'm walking on the morning of the Warner Brothers presentation, I'm walking into Caesar's Palace, and there's the terraza. There's a restaurant that's right on the... It's outside. There's an outdoor patio, and I'm literally walking right next to the outdoor patio, and the last kind of tucked away in the corner, Denis Villeneuve was sitting there talking to this woman. And I'm going to pass about 4 feet right next to him. You know, nobody nobody recognized him, so I'm like, fuck it, man, I'm gonna take my shot. And I walked up to him. I said to him, "Excuse me, Mr. Villeneuve, I don't mean to interrupt, even though I did mean to interrupt. And I told him this was the funny thing, and I said, listen, can't wait to see the Warner presentation. And I told him I just read an article in the morning about how Sicario is on Netflix and it's doing really well. And he directed Sicario, but Taylor Sheridan wrote Sicario. And so the article was about how Taylor Sheridan's having, another hit on TV with Sicario going up the Netflix charts. And I told him that, and he thought that was really cool. He's like, "Really? I didn't know that." And I said, "You know what you should do with the popularity of the War Haka? You should start." I was just trying to be funny. I said, "You should start off the Dune panel, and have us all do a sing along. You could put the lyrics up on the screen." And he laughed.
Karaoke.
He laughed at that. But he laughed like a bit too much, and then I said a few more things to him. And I said, listen, I can't wait to see Dune 3. Can't wait to see Show Me. You're the man. I said, you're the fucking man. And I walked away. Well, so it was just a brief, but then I went and told Cody, because Cody loves Denis Villeneuve, because he was sitting at
where does he is?
And yeah, Cody, I tried to explain to Cody where he was, and Cody just got up and made him. At first, he couldn't find him. He texted me, "Where is he?" And I had to explain exactly where he was sitting. So he goes, and Cody's an Olympic gold medalist. So he goes and talks to Denis Villeneuve, and when he explained to Denis Villeneuve that he's an Olympic gold medalist, Denis goes, "Oh my God," and he gets up and he gives Cody a hug. Which I thought was like the greatest thing in the world. But the funny thing is later that day, the Dune presentation was at the end of the Warner panel. And all, the lights are down, and I would say 60, 70 people dressed as Fremen come marching down in the aisles, and they all get up and they're all in their garb, and they start singing the War Haka before. And so Denis Villeneuve obviously knew that's how they were starting the panel. I was just joking, but they actually did it. It wasn't a sing along for the audience, and I got to turn to everybody and go, great minds think alike. What can I say? And it was incredible. But it was like 8.5 minutes of Dune, actually. Yeah. I mean, only Denis Villeneuve's Dune movies can do this. The peak verisimilitude, and it shows a very apocalyptic battle where Paul Atreides' forces are assaulting another planet, and it's in the rain, so the Fremen soldiers are all like, "This is miraculous! It's water's falling from the sky." It was crazy, dude. It was a battle. It was like, people have said it. It was really like watching the opening of Saving Private Ryan, but the scope was much bigger. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, the visual effects, the danger, people were just getting vaporized. I mean, it was incredible. It was jaw-dropping. It was absolutely jaw-dropping.
My question, Rob, what was the aspect ratio, actually, that you saw that first?
Well, they weren't showing it to us with the IMAX.
Widescreen?
It was widescreen, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the widescreen version. Because, so this year, the Coliseum Theater, the Celine Dion Theater, they rechristened it the Dolby Theater. And I have to say, the presentation in there this year, so Dolby comes in and sets up their own screen, and their own sound system. It's insane. The projection, and it's funny because the pictures I take from where I sit, the screen looks really small. But if you see other people's pictures that have people, the screen's huge. I mean, it's a huge screen, and the stereo system they hook up is unreal. And this was just like you would expect. It's jaw-dropping. I mean, it was. And the other thing that they showed us, well, I'll talk about it in a minute, was they showed us the first 17 minutes of The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Mandalorian, yeah.
So, That was interesting. But yeah, the Dune footage is off the chain. Like it's
Of the chain.
you
Okay.
can't believe what you're watching. I mean, you can believe it, but it's crazy.
Yeah.
So that was
It
real
seems
Tom.
he delivers again.
So Thomas, everyone's gonna love it. Richard Curtis writes in and says, "Sounds like I made a good choice seeing Ready or Not 2 instead of the Mummy film. Ready or Not 2 was better than the Mummy film, but I still thought Ready or Not 2 was disappointing because it just
There
became
you go.
it became too. The first half was good, but then it became too conventional." Major Chai Chai writes in and says, "Thanks again for everyone's support and well wishes last week. My husband is recovering well from surgery and will be home soon." Well, that's good to know.
Nice.
Swaggy Steve says, "Hi, Rob. How do you feel about Escape from New York being remade? Did CinemaCon reveal anything?" Well, they've been trying. Everybody from Robert Rodriguez to Radio Silence, they've been trying to remake. I have a script for Escape from New York, actually, the remake. They've been trying to remake Escape from New York for years. And now Studio Canal, that originally put out the box sets of those 4 Carpenter movies, they own the rights, and they're trying to mount a new Escape from New York remake. There's no, other than the fact that they announced that they're going to try and do it. There's no information about it. But Studio Canal did have a panel at CinemaCon, but they didn't address it.
Oh,
They didn't
okay.
address it.
Yeah.
8-Bit Site says, "Movie may suck, but the Mando popcorn buckets look lit."
We'll see about it. We'll see.
The first 17 minutes of Mando, I would say they're good. They're good.
Okay.
I don't. It still feels a little too TV for me. You know.
Okay.
But I did like some of what I saw.
It only needs to be better than Rise of Skywalker, you know.
Yeah, I mean it is. Most of what's in the trailer is from the first 17 minutes of the movie.
Okay.
So
That's good. That's good. Rick. That's great. That's great.
yeah, I enjoyed it. You know, I thought it's interesting. You know what we get to see. One of the characters from Rebels is in it and looks great in live action. Kind of his sidekick.
Okay.
So that was, I enjoyed it. I mean,
Did you had too much of a volume feeling? Shot in the volume again, or was it more practical?
No, but I mean the opening is all that stuff with the walkers, and it didn't feel too volumey. But again,
Okay.
it didn't feel big enough. It's still very much okay. This is TV. I get it. But
Perhaps it will get bigger when the movie goes on. Fingers
yeah, I
crossed.
mean, I really enjoyed it. I will say something really interesting though. Johnny Coyne, who's one of the lead actors in the movie, is also one of the lead actors in White Devils, our movie.
Yeah, you
And
told us that.
we now have distribution for White Devils, so I'm now working on the distribution of that, and we're getting all the elements together for White Devils, so that's very cool.
Yeah.
And then 8-Bit Site says, "The Gene Simmons produced, Rennie Harlan directed Shark movie has Dieter written all over it. In 2 weeks, it could be a Shark Con double feature." Have you seen
I
the
hope
trailer?
so. Rennie needs to put out a banger for once. Now, after
Dude,
the
I got to tell
failure-
you, I can't wait
this
to see this movie. A plane crash movie,
Okay.
an airliner that crashes into shark-infested waters. Come on. Even I'm excited for that. I want to go see that in the theater.
Bring Rennie on for it, Rob. Come on.
Well, I mean, we should. I'm trying. I should look into
Yeah.
that because it'd be great to have him come out.
Yeah.
So yeah,
The title is Deep Water. Am I correct, Rob?
Yeah, it's Deep Water.
I believe. Just the title.
Hassan Chavez, I think it's Hassan, says watch American Classic with Kevin Kline. It's a great show. I'll have to do that.
Yeah. Oh.
8-Bit Site says, "I just need For All Mankind Season 6 to end with a shot of a mysterious ship on a view screen, the crew reaction, and cut to black, then a spin-off series set 100 years later." You know, people say that. I don't want the show to end that way because I think that crosses that. I think they're going to find alien life on Titan, I think. But I don't think it should. It sort of defeats the purpose if they see some alien spacecraft. I know what people want.
It's just a microbe, Rob. Something small, perhaps.
Yeah, I just don't think they need. If they find a spacecraft, I know that's where people want to go. And as thinking about it as a Star Trek precursor, I just think it's too early to do that.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm not interested. So yeah. Oh, okay. So Thomas Logan says, he says, Bobby, the photos of Robert Downey Jr. as Doom are fantastic. Check your email. Show Doom to the chat and regale us with your analysis and review of the Doomsday trailer. Well, okay, I will look and see. There's been so much AI slop generated since that trailer was released that I'm
Since
tired.
The trailer was not released, Rob. That's what you mean,
Yeah, Thomas Logan, I don't know where these pictures came from. I don't know if these are, in fact, his costume. It doesn't, I don't know, maybe they are. Where do they come from? Maybe they do kind of look like gallery publicity photos. But the face mask looks too big. I would prefer not to show these pictures on the show. Only because if they are real, I don't want to get in trouble for showing them. Because they will
know that situation, Rob,
Yeah. But I am dubious. I'm dubious. I don't think this armor looks nearly as good as it doesn't look like. Yeah, it doesn't look like what we saw really. So yes, they showed the Avengers Doomsday trailer and they showed it twice. Now here's what's interesting about what they showed. They showed very little of the movie in the trailer. And what they've tried to
That's good to hear.
It's and this is what I found interesting. Most of what they showed, like all the X-Men stuff, is from two different parts of the movie. The very beginning of the movie, and when a group of characters travels to the X-Men world for the first time, and that group of Avengers meets the X-Men and they fight. Because the X-Men think it's another incursion. So in Avengers Doomsday, the X-Men Earth, the Fox X-Men Earth, has been fighting off incursion after incursion after incursion after incursion after incursion. So they're a battered, beaten group of folks when we meet them in the movie. And our Earth, the 616 Earth, when they go there, because they have to, there's a plan that Reed Richards and Victor Von Doom have come up with to save the remaining 3 Earths, and at least to stop them from destroying one another. But they need help. They journey to the X-Men Earth, and they don't know what they're going to find there. They have no idea, and so they fight. Obviously, when they first meet, they fight, and in the trailer there's a lot of that. And then there's stuff from later, like people have told you. You hear at the beginning of the trailer, you hear Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom, and I loved his accent. He's got like some kind of a hybrid Eastern European accent. It's really, really good. I loved it. And you see his armor. You don't see him fully. There's a couple of shots where you see his full armor, but I don't know if those pictures are actually the final armor. They look a little too simplistic, but then again, you don't. So the couple of things that they showed was they showed Thor coming down like he came down in Infinity War when he first shows up in Wakanda. They show Thor coming with full on Stormbreaker coming up to Doom to bring Stormbreaker on Doom, and Doom basically stops Stormbreaker with 2 fingers. And it was amazing.
Sure. What a show.
It was amazing.
What a show off.
And then there's a lot of scenes where characters are meeting one another. Like people have talked about Shang-Chi squaring off against Gambit. And there's a lot of shots that I don't want to spoil that I know what they are, but I don't want to say what they are. But it was basically all set up, but it's actually it seemed to me that it's all from the first third of the movie. So
Just good.
all the banana shit when the movie goes completely insane, was not, which they shouldn't spoil. But then the final thing that everybody talks about when Steve Rogers shows up and Thor sees Steve Rogers, Thor's looking at him going, it's impossible. And then Steve's like, he says like, hey pal. And then Thor has Mjolnir. He doesn't have Stormbreaker. And Thor puts his hand up with Mjolnir in his hand. And Steve puts his hand up. And Mjolnir goes from Thor's hand to Steve Rogers' hand, telling Thor that it really is Steve Rogers. And then that's the end of the trailer. So,
it's your passport, Rob. Mjolnir.
Yeah, I mean, it was... the trailer is a lot of fun. There's a lot. It's cool seeing all these characters interact, but it's really a teaser trailer. It's not a full on trailer. But the speech Thor gives is epic. It's been talked about how he says, "I've fought with many people who are much stronger than you against some evil that I feared less, and those people still died. But this I fear. We have to put aside our petty squabbles because this I fear more than anything I've ever faced." And it was great, and the audience loved it, and they showed it twice. Yeah. And I don't know when they're going to drop it. I mean, people have done analysis. I'm sure it'll come out probably in the next couple of weeks. I would imagine.
I would think so, Rob. After Mandalorian, Grogu is a little bit behind us.
Yeah, or maybe it will come out with Mandalorian and Grogu. That's what I would expect. Probably that same week. That it makes sense that they would do that.
Or perhaps in front of it. Just saying.
Well, that's what I mean. It'll come out in front of Mandalorian. That's what they're going to do is drop it with Mandalorian and Grogu. I would imagine it could come out earlier.
Yeah, so that they can create. That the same thing with Avatar. Each week you get a little bit of a different teaser for it.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that again. I mean, it's really interesting because as I said, I'm really excited for Doomsday, but I'm a longtime comic book reader, and the thing about Doomsday, it's like a great summer crossover story. I mean, it really is, and it is. It's going to be a lot of fun. And
there's Rob, there's no release date change. That they announced.
No, Doomsday is happening, man. There's going to be no release date change. And that was what was really interesting is that Disney came out with this new. They showed a clip with their logo. They showed their logo for their new Infinity Vision, and basically that is it's just a spec. It's luminance specs. It's sound specs. So when people go in and see it in other large format theaters other than IMAX, they know they're getting a great presentation. I'll believe that when I see it, because you're asking all those theater owners. The problem is a lot of what we see is you have to
Rob,
make.
It shouldn't cost the theater owners anything. You want our certificate? They have to pay us.
Well, yeah, and also the real question is it's for me it's all about luminance levels. The real problem with seeing movies nowadays is that the projector is not bright enough, and it especially with like laser projection and things like that, you have to turn up the and of course that means whatever you're projecting through, whether it's through a light or laser projection or whatever, it can burn out quicker. But it's all about the visual presentation. So, like what Thomas Logan was saying, when we go see things at the Regal, it's a true 15 perf 70 millimeter house. Like when we saw Project Hail Mary there, it looked incredible. It really looked incredible. But a lot of the films now are being finished. It's not like there's only one or two versions. If you go back and you watch the Lord Miller video for Project Hail Mary, they show just how many different versions of the movie that there are. And it kind of, I mean, I want to see, like, Project Hail Mary was not actually shot in IMAX. It was formatted for IMAX, but it wasn't shot. Greg Fraser didn't shoot it in IMAX. I think he shot it on the Alexa. And so it's great to see it in 70 millimeter. And he does a really interesting thing where he transfers it and actually does a film pass to give like he did with Dune, to give a something that was actually digitally captured, a filmic look. But Dune, you know, whether the Dune stuff is, you're going to want to see that in IMAX. But it's interesting because nowadays it used to be the Odyssey, apparently, and if I think I'm right about this, the Odyssey, Christopher Nolan said the Odyssey is the first feature film that has been entirely shot with IMAX cameras. Yeah. Entirely. Yeah. Because he never did the whole thing with IMAX cameras, but this time it was shot entirely with IMAX cameras, which is cool. So, yeah, and let's see, we got more. Victoria. I saw the Magic Faraway Tree film. Oh. If there's one man I'd live in a barn with, it's Andrew Garfield in his hippie farmer era. Another Simon Farnaby gem. Yeah, I saw a trailer for that, The Magic Faraway Tree. It looked kind of interesting. It's a fantasy film, and just like you would imagine, The Magic Faraway Tree. Yeah. Well, that's good to know. Victoria, did you see that at a film festival? I'm curious. 8-Bit Site says, speaking of For All Mankind, SpaceX's Starship is vibing. Yeah, I mean, it certainly is. It certainly is. So that's cool. Let me just check and make sure.
Yeah. Hold up.
I'm not sure if we got let me look and check the tip link. Nope, we're good. Okay. So, yep.
So since the C-Wing is closed today, Rob, I think we can go to the news section.
Well, Dietz, and I don't know our headliner. We'll go to the news section. Yeah. As everyone knows, they finally made the official announcement for 28 days later in 4K. Now, here it is. I mean, as everyone knows, here's the 28 days later Steelbook. This movie was originated on DV. That's of course, I don't know if, I think it was DV PAL in this case, but that
could be right, Rob. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Standard def video. This was made before HD was even a thing or available. So I'll be very curious to see. They would either have to do some kind of upscaling. I don't know if it's AI assisted, but it wouldn't surprise me if it is AI assisted.
But I have actually high hopes, Rob. It's coming from Sony. So
yeah, it's coming from Sony. So I agree. It'll probably be fantastic, but definitely want to get it, and I will get it.
And it's finally, Rob, a disc that we can own. You know, because it was actually tough to even get it, even have it.
Well, I have it. I bought it when it first came out. So
yeah, right.
But it's
long,
cool.
long out of print, Rob. It's long
out of print. Long out of print. And I really like the movie too, so it'll be cool to see how it works.
Yeah.
So 28 days later. Now Criterion has a new list of titles.
Yeah.
And before I jump right into it, there's one thing I want to do and go to so I can read the descriptions of everything. But yeah, so Criterion announced their slate for July. And the Criterion July release slate begins with Paul Newman in HUD. Great film. Paul Newman in HUD is definitely something I'm going to pick up. And of course, this is a great subversive reimagining of Western myths. In the fourth of his 6 collaborations with progressive director Martin Ritt, Paul Newman created his darkest role yet as Hud Bannon, a charismatic but ruthlessly unprincipled rancher. So what's not to get in 4K? Awesome. Now, I already own this, so I probably won't get this. But The Elephant Man is being released. We had it first coming in from the Studio Canal and that cool box set.
Yeah.
So we've got that, and it's a new 4K restoration, and that's pretty cool. And then, of course, the famous movie with the famous twist, The Crying Game, is coming out.
Ooh.
I remember seeing that in the theater, and the twist really, it was twisted. I didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Pretty obscure cover. Obscure cover, actually.
Yeah, it is. It is an obscure cover.
Never
Of course,
seen it. Never seen it.
directed by Neil Jordan, and this is going to have Dolby Vision and HDR. And this was set against the troubles of Northern Ireland. So definitely a great, this is a great movie. And then a movie that Nagisa Oshima, Cruel Story of Youth. I actually really like this movie. And this is set in post-war Tokyo, and teenage lovers turn to a life of crime, entrapping lecherous middle-aged men in order to extort their money. If you haven't seen this, this is definitely a movie to see. Cruel Story of Youth. Then we have Martin Scorsese's Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore. And this will be a new 4K restoration, which is great. And, of course, this is the classic maternal melodrama with a brash spirit of the new Hollywood in a zeitgeist capturing feminist tale of a woman finding her footing in a patriarchal world, starring The Exorcist's Ellen Burstyn. And then, of course, we have The Love That Remains, and suffused with tenderness and deadpan humor, The Love That Remains asks what happens when a relationship ends, but the bonds of caring endure. And this moves through 4 seasons in the lives of a separating couple. And I think this is a Swedish film. I have not seen it.
Okay.
And then they're finally going to release this, which is I'll Remind You of Everything, the films of Mike Mills in 4K. The legacies we inherit, the ones we pass on from the heart of writer-director Mike Mills' family portraits inspired by his own experience, both personal and panoramic. The films collected here, Beginners, 20th Century Women, and Come On, Come On, set their stories of parents and children against the backdrop of a changing America from the 1970s to the present, anchored by performances of depth and wit from the likes of Christopher Plummer, Ewan McGregor, Annette Bening, Greta Gerwig, Elle Fanning, Joaquin Phoenix, Gabby Hoffman. These 3 films compose a mosaic of Mills' own life, from boyhood to fatherhood. Beginners is from 2010, obviously, which I actually own on Blu-ray. 20th Century Women is from 2016, and Come On, Come On is from 2021, and these are all going to be new digital masters. So there you go, and that's Criterion slate for July. Then we're getting Notting Hill, a 4K version of Notting Hill, and who doesn't like Notting Hill? 1999's Notting Hill. Everyone likes this movie, don't they? Studio Canal, we already got the version from Lionsgate, but Studio Canal is now releasing their version of The Descent that uses that cool steelbook artwork from Lionsgate Limited. That I actually wrote an article.
Finally available in internationally too, in Europe. Finally.
So you'll be able to get that. Then we've got coming out from Kino Lorber, Hang 'Em High by Clint Eastwood. By Clint Eastwood, or starring Clint Eastwood. So what's not to love? It stars Clint Eastwood, but that's from, 68? Then we have a brand new 4K steelbook box set of It's the 15th anniversary 4K steelbook box set. Looks pretty dope. I don't think this has anything new in it other than it's coming in a steelbook box set where all the steelbooks have great character covers. I mean, for those of you who don't have it, I have that old Blu-ray box set that I love. It's one of my most favorite box sets ever.
Yeah.
But it's got the Blu-rays. Maybe I'm not going to buy this and get rid of the steelbooks, but it makes me always realize I'm going to go buy the 4Ks and stick them in my box.
A mix and match situation.
And now Deaf Crocodile, one of the most boutique of all the boutique labels, I love Deaf Crocodile, is putting out 2 films. Legend of the Sacred Stone, and this is going to be on Blu-ray. Legend of the Sacred Stone comes to us from Chris Huang, and this is from 2000. If you've ever dreamed of seeing a wuxia martial arts epic filled with occult secrets and black magic spells, incredibly choreographed sword fights with spinning, flying, and leaping combatants, hidden tombs, lakes of fire, and the eternal battle between darkness and light, but told entirely with puppets, then your wait is over. Legend of the Sacred Stone is based on the tremendously popular Taiwanese TV show Pili, launched in 1984, that uses traditional Chinese Budexi glove puppetry to tell amazingly elaborate wuxia stories packed with non-stop action and swordplay. I mean, what's not to love? Come on. They're also putting out...
Certainly out of the box.
I mean, look, Deaf Crocodile is the only company that would bring us these gems, so support them. And they're putting out a second title, Black Rabbit, White Rabbit. And this is from 2025. And the latest film from the Iranian master Shahram Mokri, who made Fish and Cat and Careless Crime, another mysterious M.C. Escher-like meditation on reality and illusion, doubles and doppelgangers and uncanny synchronicities involving stories within stories set during the production of a film by a director named Shahram, already blurring the lines between film and reality. So there you go. I mean, that alone seems to make this worth getting. And it's Deaf Crocodile. Then we jump down to a land down under, and we go to Imprint. And Imprint is putting out a hardbox version of Bound. So Criterion's already put that out. But hey, limited edition hard box and a hardcover booklet. That's pretty cool. Who doesn't love Bound?
Yeah.
And then we've got A Bronx Tale. I really like this movie. Chaz Palminteri directed this, I believe, based on his play, which is cool. So you get that in 4K. Then we have The Trigger Effect, again, in a hard box. And The Trigger Effect is coming. It's not in 4K, though. And then The Assignment is coming, and that's not the most recent assignment. It's an older The Assignment.
Yeah.
And then a movie called Victory is coming out. And Victory, whenever I hear Victory, I think of John Huston's football film, about soccer that Stallone is in. But this is about the Dutch East Indies. And it's based on a novel by Hearts of Darkness author Joseph Conrad. And it stars Willem Dafoe, as you can tell from that photograph. Sam Neill and Irene Jacob and Rufus Sewell. So there you go. And then we have Killer, Journal of a Murder, not Anatomy of a Murder. And the screenwriter of California, starting with a K, brings to life this shocking true story with standout performances from James Woods, who won a Best Actor at Sitges for this, and Robert Sean Leonard from Dead Poets Society. And then a new version of Henry and June, I believe the first NC-17 movie, was it? Maybe not, but it was NC-17. So there you go. Imprint's doing some good work. 88 Films is putting out their version of Arcade, which I'm going to get because it has to be better than the version of Arcade that they put out.
And you get even a slip cover, Rob.
I've got to get a slip cover. Again, this is the first movie we re-edited. We only get additional editor credits in the end titles. The name of the editor on this movie is actually Miles Winton, is the dog. The dog's name of the original editor. But, I worked on this movie for 6 months, and I learned everything I know about post-production working on it. And we made something unwatchable into something really mediocre, but I can't wait to own this version of it. Kino Lorber's putting out in 4K Robert Zemeckis' Flight with... obviously, the great Denzel Washington. I actually really like this movie. Don't drink and fly, kids. If you're flying a airliner, don't drink and fly. Then we have a movie that I really don't know anything about, but it's from 2025 called Diabolic. And I don't
I
know if
pre-ordered it, Rob. Rob actually I stumbled across it. I thought, this looks
after
interesting.
suffering terrifying blackouts, a young woman returns to the religious
Yeah.
compound where she was raised. As she unravels the dark secrets of her past, an ancient ritual unleashes the vengeful spirit of a cursed witch. And it stars Elizabeth Cullen from Evil Dead Wrath, John Kim from The Little Things, and Mia Chehalis, Clickbait, and Terrence Crawford from The Babadook. So, hey, I'm sure you pre-ordered it. Why not? What's not to
Probably
love?
better than the Mummy, Rob.
Yes. And then we have coming out from Sony, they're releasing a 4K Blu-ray release of Richard Sale's Abandon. I mean, this is interesting because of all the movies that they could be putting out in 4K, they're putting out Abandoned Ship. After the massive luxury liner Crescent Star sinks into the ocean, the ship's officer, Tyrone Power, must command a rickety lifeboat built for only 9 that is stuffed with 20 desperate and injured passengers. As a hurricane approaches and the many wounded passengers struggle for life, difficult life and death decisions must be made about who will remain on the boat and who must be cast into the sea. Shit, man, that sounds great. I'll watch that. No wonder they're putting it out on 4K. Then we have the Texas Rangers coming out. Kino Lorber is putting that out. King Vidor. This is obviously a Western, and it's from 1936, and it stars Fred McMurray, Jack Oakey, Gene Parker, Lloyd Nolan, and Edward Ellis. So, hey, there you go. And now this is reassuring. Following up on Mercy, Amazon MGM is releasing Crime 101 on Blu-ray. Not on 4K, unfortunately, but hey.
In 4K too, Rob. In 4K too.
Oh, well, that's good.
4K too. Yeah.
Oh, you're right. It is in 4K too. Well, that's good.
And Blu-ray, but separately.
Yeah, they're separate. Okay, good. You can get the 4K. That's good to know. Now, BFI is jumping over and doing more Kurosawa. They're doing Redbeard, which is, of course, great that they're doing Redbeard. Although this is only in Blu-ray, it looks like. It doesn't look like it's in 4K. But hey, it's Kurosawa, this one from 65. So that's good. And then we have from 1987, we have Zhang Mu's Red Sorum. I think that's how you pronounce it, Red Sorum. I don't know, you tell me. Coming out. This from 87, Shandong, China in late 1930s. A girl named Zhuir is sent by her parents to marry an old man who owns a failing Sorum wine distillery. When the old man dies under mysterious circumstances, Zhuir must take over the business, and her tenacity quickly gains the love and support of the rough but kind distillery workers. So, there you go. That's coming out. Vertigo for a Killer, not to be mistaken with Hitchcock's Vertigo. This also comes to us from Kino Lorber, and this is a Eurocrime gem directed by Jean-Pierre Desnac, who directed OSS 117 Double Agent. When hitman Mark refuses to liquidate his friend Rene, he becomes a target himself. In order to escape his former boss and ruthless thugs, he seeks support from the sultry Sylvie Dessor, who offers him shelter on the Riviera. What Mark does not know is that the lady has a hidden agenda. Swirling with Hitchcockian suspense and a Euro-Western score, Vertigo for a Killer delivers the neo-noir goods. Max will probably have something to say about that. Then we have, of course, in this long-running series, I believe, look at that, Louis Buñuel, The Criminal Life of Archibaldo de la Cruz. And hey, who doesn't want a new Louis Buñuel movie? And this comes to us from Second Run from Britain in Louis Buñuel's darkly comic psychodrama. A reawakened childhood memory convinces rich, cultured Archibaldo that he is able to cause the death of others. But his murderous impulses are frustrated at every turn, driving him to find ever more inventive ways to fulfill his desires. A key work in his Mexican period, Buñuel's gloriously twisted The Criminal Life of Archibaldo de la Cruz anticipates his later works with an ambiguous tale of bourgeois hysteria, transgression, and erotic obsession. Full of pitch-black humor and surrealist flourishes, the film is an unjustly neglected gem from one of cinema's greatest artists. Then, change of pace, a Spielberg box set. Look at this. Nothing we probably all don't already own. Jaws, Close Encounters, Raiders, E.T., Jurassic Park, Schindler's List, Saving Private Ryan, and War of the Worlds. This is kind of an interesting box set to me. What do you want to say?
I think, Rob, I've seen that the steelbooks are even sold separately, not only in that box set. I think I've seen them sold in the pre-order options separately.
Yeah, that could very well be. I just find this box set odd in the sense that Jaws is Universal, Close Encounters is Columbia, Raiders is Paramount, then we have E.T. Universal, Jurassic Park Universal, Schindler's List Universal, Saving Private Ryan's Universal, and War of the Worlds is Universal. So, this is a great box set, and it's great. It's great, really great stuff. But I would like to have. I don't think I'm going to buy this because I already own all these movies. But like Where's, for instance, I would have included either Color Purple or Empire of the Sun in this. But whatever. But hey, if you want to get a great overview of Spielberg's movies, this is you could do a lot worse.
The big ones.
A lot worse. And let's see what they say about 8 masterpieces, 1 visionary director. It was really cool seeing Spielberg live at CinemaCon.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Paramount is double dipping into the well, and they are putting out the original, the remake, but the 50th anniversary of King Kong, a 4K Blu-ray edition. When my Kong die, everybody cry. I saw this in the theater when it first came out in 1976. Come on, man. You can't put out King Kong. We got to get Arrow to get on that 50th anniversary of Logan's Run. Come on, guys. What's up? So if you don't own this version of King Kong, which I will always have a place in my heart for, well, then I don't know what to tell you. You're dead inside, but I like it. Then we have another movie coming out from Kino Lorber, Birds of Prey from 1968, and it's another hardcore crime thriller, as you can see. Iconic tough guy Lino Ventura stars in this ravishing action thriller from author-filmmaker Jose Giovanni, whose hard-boiled novels The Big Risk and The Second Wind became Ventura-led classics. In 1938 Central America, a cynical hitman is hired to assassinate a head of state. So there you go. And Kino Lorber certainly finds him. Then we have this, which I don't know anything about, but this sounds fascinating to me. It's Transcending Dimensions, and this comes from British distributor Third Window Films, and this comes out May 25th. It's a limited edition release of Transcending Dimensions, and this is the world's first Blu-ray of the 2009 film. A hitman pursues a mysterious Japanese ascetic, encountering an entanglement of mystical power and space-time along the way, blending science fiction with other genre elements. Tosaki Toyota brings new vitality to his Mount Resurrection Wolf short film series, which have culminated over the years to lead to this feature film. And this is a 2-disc set. So there you go. I don't know.
The quote reads, Rob, a mind-bending burst of sci-fi surrealism in the vein of Kubrick or Jodorowsky that has to be seen to be believed.
Come on, man. I'm all over that. I got to buy that. And then the BFI is releasing Invaders from Mars, William Cameron Menzies' original Invaders from Mars, which I already own, but I love it. Yeah. Who doesn't love Invaders from Mars from 1953? A good year for science fiction. And this is the 4K 2-disc version. There's new audio commentary by Kim Newman on this one. And there's a 16-minute piece on William Cameron Menzies that's like new. So that means I guess I have to get a new version of it because there's new stuff on it. Or do I? Who knows? And then we have another version of The Bad Lieutenant from 101 Films, and they're going to release a standard 4K Blu-ray and 4K and a regular Blu-ray.
Was a little bit little bit confused because they already put a 4K version out. But you said it, it's single standard.
Yeah. So there you go. And then finally, El Dorado with John Wayne, Robert Mitchum, and James Caan. El Dorado's coming out from Kino Lorber. This is from 1966, and it doesn't have a date, but it's expected to arrive later this year. So there you go. And it's about Ed Asner actually plays a bad guy who forces this gang to remove people from this land that he wants. So, Dieter, that is all the news that's fit. Oh, wait, you know what? I didn't give us these charts. And the charts this week have some interesting stuff on them.
Okay.
So, at first, this is both Blu-ray and 4K discs combined. Yeah. Greenland 2 Migration is out from Lionsgate. Number 1. How did that get to be number 1? Marty Supreme from A24 is number 2. Wonder from Lionsgate is number 3. Zootopia 2 is number 4. The SquarePants movie is number 5. Salem's Lot from Arrow is number 6. David is number 7. Predator Badlands is number 8. The Running Man is number 9. And number 10 is The Housemaid. Well, this is what's really interesting. Here comes the 4K list. Look what tops the 4K charts. Arrow's Salem's Lot, which I showed last week. You go, Arrow. A TV miniseries from 1979. A lot of fans of Salem's Lot. Marty Supreme in 4K, number 2. The Running Man is number 3. Greenland 2 Migration is number 4. Number 5 is Outbreak. I have to get Outbreak. I like Outbreak. Number 6 is Ben-Hur. Number 7 is Predator Badlands. Number 8 is Dogma. And number 9 is Greenland. And number 10 is Kino Lorber's Ray. So it's nice to see Lions.
I think Greenland was the first one is a new 4K release in the States. It was never, I think, released in 4K before.
No, it wasn't. It's just Blu-ray. Yep.
Oh, now we get it on. You can get it on 4K.
That is right. And I probably will. So there you go, buddy.
Yeah.
That's all the news that's fit to print.
Nice. So if you want, Rob, you can take a short break. And I would do the live chat readout from last week. And I say, previously on Let's Get Physical Media. We had Jason Love, who says, hello, Rob. Haven't caught the stream in a while. Not seeing a German in a week is a dangerous concept because we had a week off. Grit Nature. Do you watch dub movies, Dieter? I stopped quite a while ago since you always hear the same voice actors and I was getting tired of it. Yeah. The time when I watched the movie dub is luckily over. Once in a while, I have to see a movie in theaters in German. If they don't play the original version, then I have to bite the bullet, unfortunately. But normally, these days, it's always the original language. But I grew up, of course, with movies dubbed. So there's still movies where I'm really fully aware how the German version sounded. And some stuff that I totally can see dubbed. But not anymore when it comes to new stuff. Alpedal 666. I was able to watch Ben-Hur on Easter. What a task. I can only imagine with that running. Victor Fontaine. March is a financially brutal month for us physical media collectors. Criterion Flash sale, Kino Spring into Action sale, and Movie Sing sale on Warner Archive movies destroyed my credit card. And the Alex Sorba answered him, every month has been brutal for years now. I can attest to that, certainly. Grit Nature again. Been watching The Beauty. Thanks to Rob's recommendation. Pretty good show. I like it. Yeah, I like it too. Rob was a little bit hesitant considering the ending. Bill K3S for you says, anyone watch the new Mall series? Yeah, I started it. It's fine. But I'm only 3 episodes in. But I at least love the release strategy from Disney. 2 episodes per week. And it's only, I think, 8 episodes. Danzig. The Lionsgate Steelbook looks great. We need a UK distribution arm of Lionsgate. some Lionsgate steelbooks were available in the UK through Lionsgate distribution arm. The Kill Bill steelbooks you could get, the Jackie Brown ones, or the Quentin stuff. So some steelbooks from Lionsgate are available in the UK. Ninth Gate, unfortunately not, but we'll at least get the Ascent. Perhaps Ninth Gate will be available too. Or you need to go to, I think Imprint was releasing the Ninth Gate in Australia. Victor Fontaine, holding off on the Ninth Gate until the Leprechaun 4K is fixed. I buy multiple titles at once on Lionsgate Limited to save on the shipping. That's always a good idea. You put more stuff together, then the shipping cost gets a little bit spread evenly out. Roulard said, The Doors follows the Oliver Stone. The Doors follows the Oliver Stone pattern for me, where the first half is amazing and the second half falls off the rails. Except for maybe Platoon and Savages, generally not a fan of Oliver Stone. Oh, okay. 8-Bit Psych, aka Walter Whitewalker. What's the Saturday? Let's get physical media madness. Yeah, Rob had obligations on Sunday. I had early shift Monday. And we figured it out. Hey, we can do it Saturday, you know. You always have to be on your toes with our show. And for all the people who uses YouTube, turn on that damn notification bell, you know, and then you will get informed that we are on sometimes Saturday. Then I showed last week, I hope it was in context to that, Primitive War, and Ercho says, should have been 90 minutes. I agree. 90 minutes would be perhaps better runtime for that movie. Then Albetal says, great choice, Dieter. That's a Superior. That came from Shameless. I need two. It's not the Synapse transfer. It's the TLE with boosted color without overdoing it in the brightness like the Synapse. I think it's actually a little bit down on the colors, but I haven't watched it yet. It's a little bit of a different transfer. Yeah, that's what I heard too. Victor Fontaine, Remo Williams, The Phantom, and Stone Cold 4Ks are in the queue for the next Kino sale. 3 good choices. Ramon Thompson, got a question. What is your favorite Monty Python movie or spoof movies? Mine is The Meaning of Life and the Naked Gun movies. For me, one of the best is still Airplane for me. Considering Monty Python, I think I have to rewatch them to get a bearing what would be my favorite. Rob, do you have a favorite of Monty Python, considering their spoof movies?
Holy Grail.
Just in general.
Holy
Grail. Okay.
Yep.
Holy Grail. There we go. 11 Evil X's. Dieter is so much louder than Rob. You were the only one that complained about that in the live chat, but you have to know, if you're running against Chief Running Mouse, it's always tough. So sometimes you have to drown him out with just the volume alone to get your 50 cents across. Major Chai Chai, considering Rob was telling us about his little AI shenanigans with his book. And Major Chai Chai says, why does Rob need help writing sexually explicit sex scenes? Well, perhaps the AI knows perhaps a little bit even more. Who knows?
Oh, I don't.
I bet
it won't write sexually explicit sex scenes.
That was yeah. It couldn't help him, Major Chai Chai. I bet I only like the first Rambo, considering Rob showed the big Rambo set that we'll be getting was found from newer materials. I only like the first Rambo, so no need for me. That's for liking just the first one. Unbelievable. And then the second one, Albetal. I guess I have all Roundup movies, the ones with Don Lee, which I thoroughly enjoyed, which I think it's four Roundup movies. Here, but once again, I guess I have all Roundup movies here, but not watched one of them. That gets you another buzzer here. Roulard, nobody punches like Don Lee in those movies. You are correct. Power Ranger Donnie, speaking of Disney, who binged Malcolm in the Middle? Life's Still Unfair on Disney, on Hulu besides me? Yeah, I binged it, but I told you, for me, unfortunately, not good. Grid Nature. Considering the dear stuff that I and Eric von Shore from Bright Stone Pictures complained, the CG looking wonky. But Rob said from CinemaCon, that shot that turned the deer a little bit into something different, looked great. But Rich Nature said, no, they're right. It's in almost every modern movie. All deer look so bad. Why don't just use documentary film material like they often do with wolves? I have no idea. And that was one of the great things, considering the Phantom. The animals are real in the Phantom. He's a little bit of a beastmaster himself. And here a question for you, Rob, from Dr. Sleep. Hey, Rob, did you receive your Tomy Enterprise refit yet? Your Tomy Enterprise refit, did you receive it? Okay.
I did.
So you're happy with?
I have not opened it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I have
But
not
what do you
opened
receive?
it. I have not opened it because I have to wait and see the disposition of where we're living.
Okay.
But I do have it.
Okay. Danzig, 1979. Dieter is going to retire in a few years. The man's in his 20s. That's crazy. Your check, Danzig, is in the mail. Danzig, the dream of having a live Let's Get Physical media from Dieter's den would be amazing. You know Rob would be silently judging your collection. Yes, he would. Because he would say, Dietz, where are your books? Oh, I have the Titanic making of book. No, I mean real books. I have the Return of the Maltese Falcon. Is that all? Yeah, he would be judgy. Make judge of them. Rob, that was the live chat readout from last week.
Okay. Well, that's
Yeah. Short one. Even if we went over 3 hours, but that was all the stuff that I thought was fit out to print.
Well, that's good. We got some more super chats. Real Thomas Logan says Robert Downey Jr.'s accent in the trailer is the same accent he used when he auditioned for Dr. Doom in 2003 when Chris Columbus was directing Fantastic Four. And he says the pics are real. Well, they could. They look similar to the artwork that's been shown. I just don't want to show pictures like that on this channel.
We'll get in trouble, Rob.
We will get in trouble. Yeah. If they're real or and they could have been earlier photos. I'm not convinced about the mask. I think they probably made changes to it. But yeah, that could be. It's probably not the exact accent. It's that would almost a quarter century ago. He tweaked it a bit, but it sounds good. The trailer opens with the Dr. Doom voiceover.
Yeah, I remember you and John said if you wouldn't know that Robert would be playing him, you wouldn't recognize him.
Yeah, and of course, one of the things that I think is interesting is that we always have people have assumed, and even I assumed, that there was going to be some connection to Tony Stark. But the impression that I've been given by the Russo brothers and then Kevin Feige himself, I don't think that there is. I think they just cast Robert Downey Jr. to play Dr. Doom. That there is no connection. Although I find that difficult. In Doomsday, no one really sees him, so no one's questioning that. But if he ever takes this mask off and people that would know him see him, I don't know how you'd get around that. It's kind of
Leave the
weird.
mask on, Rob. Leave the mask on.
Yeah, so I don't know. Kelvin Wellborn says, Kelvin from Down Under says, Texas Rangers has commentary by Max Allen Collins and Heath Holland. Well, there you go.
Nice.
Richard Curtis says, I don't know if it's true, but I heard the best John Cleese impersonator spoke German, and he did the German dub of Fawlty Towers. Do you know if that's true?
That could be, Rob. That could be true.
I don't know if that's true.
But we have back in the day. I don't know if it's still today. We have really specific people who were voicing the actor. So you always have the same German voice doing the same actor.
Yep. Yeah.
So you've gotten familiar with a specific voice for an actor. Even if it was a German voice.
Yeah. Well, that's good. So we're caught up.
Then it was always then confusing, Rob, when they changed it, because of some contractual stuff or something.
Yeah.
And there was, I remember, Rob, I think the trailer, I think it was Die Hard. Where Bruce Willis had his normal German dubbing voice from Manfred Lehmann. But then in the movie itself, I thought, wait, what the hell is this? Then someone else, I think it was Thomas Danneberg, voiced him because the other one didn't have time. And Thomas Danneberg is actually the voice for Arnold and Sly, and that totally throws you off then,
Oh, that's weird. Yeah, I can't watch. I never watched dubbed.
I know.
The only dubbed movie I've told people, the only dubbed movie that I will watch is Shogun Assassin, because it doesn't. You can watch the original Lone Wolf and Cub movies, but Shogun Assassin only exists as the dubbed version, so it's part of its appeal.
Where I make more exception, Rob, is anime. There's a great dubbing for anime. There's a little bit more of a leeway. You can
Yes,
go with
I agree with that, but I still can't. My problem with so much anime dubbing is it just doesn't sound like it's. I mean, having now done a audio drama where I'm dealing with actors, so much anime, it doesn't sound like the actors are conveying what they would really sound like in the environments that they're in. So it's difficult to watch. I much prefer watching things in their original language.
Yeah.
Plus, there's something, even though I don't understand the language, there's something about the inflections of words and emotions that you don't get in a dubbed version on animation. So I prefer the original.
That's totally fine.
But yeah, that's it. We are all caught up with everybody, and
Okay,
that's cool.
Since, unfortunately, Sewing is closed today, we run at our normal running time, Rob. A little bit over 2 hours.
Yeah, no, I have to say, I don't think I'm going to be here next week. I'm not quite 100% on that. I'm supposed to go up to Seattle. I'm going to fly up there one way, and then I'm going to fill up the van of all of these wonderful treasures I'm getting. And the treasures, it's unbelievable. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, a friend of mine, for 40 years I've been after him for this, has had a cache of hundreds, and by his count, probably over 700 various pieces. And if you go by his photo sets, so there used to be a company called the National Screen Service Corporation that printed all the movie posters from all the studios, except for some indies, but up until about the mid 80s. And he worked at that company, and when they shut it down, let's just say he left with a lot of original. I mean, these are original one sheets, original 40 by 60s, original inserts, original lobby card sets, of which there are 8 cards per set. Things that are you can't get. I mean, you can find things around. Full lobby card sets are really difficult to find, but he has them, and he's giving them to me to liquidate for him, or in any way I can. And, I'm going to give members of this channel a shot at this stuff first, because he said to me, he goes, you're not going to want to get rid of this stuff. And I'm like, no, I have an obligation to him, and I'm not going to keep a bunch. I mean, I have tons of movie posters I've never put up already. But they are original, not used in theaters. They're original, unused things. And I would imagine the condition on these is better, like mint, unused. Movie posters are not collected as much, especially by younger people, because you've got companies like Mondo and companies like Vice Press that do new stuff, and they're smaller. Movie posters are actually 27 by 41. They became 40 by 26 later because they didn't have a white border on them anymore. But if you're interested in anything from the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, and the mid-80s, the beginning into the mid-80s, it's going to be, I'm sure, a treasure trove of amazing stuff, and they're all originals. So, original posters.
And Rob, how does it came to be that the studio said we're doing that ourselves from now on?
I don't know how. I think they just wanted to take over. I noticed.
Okay.
You can always tell because for the most part on old movie posters, on the bottom of the poster, there's little print that's in the white border, and it says "Property of National Screen Service Corporation," and it says this poster either has to be destroyed or returned after use. Well, most of the time they were just destroyed. The stuff that Craig was able to acquire was just never used. It was stuff they printed out. And also because then he went to work in video stores, he has a lot of early video promo posters of which they did some really cool stuff, like with Star Trek releases. Like, I don't know if he has any of these, but if he's got the video release, the sell-through release, like Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan and Officer and a Gentleman were two of the very first sell-through movies. Videotapes were so expensive that most people didn't buy them. They rented them. But when Paramount decided to release Star Trek II and Officer and a Gentleman, they were only $39.95 to buy. Even though, if you think about that now, people won't even pay $39.95 for a 4K. That's too expensive. But back then, that was really cheap to buy Star Trek II, and Paramount was the first company to do it. And Craig I met him working at a store called Videophile, which was a Laserdisc store in the early 80s in Seattle. It was a boutique store, and they only sold Laserdiscs. So that was even a smaller niche market. So I'm going to be very curious to see. The last time I went through this collection was literally in the 80s. And I remember just going, oh my God. I couldn't believe some of the things that he had. But I didn't even go through all of it. I remember his lobby card sets. It was so funny. He said, well, I've only got 2 boxes of lobby cards. I go, no. You have 4 boxes of lobby cards. And he goes, no, I think I only have 2. And I go, no. Look harder. You have 4 boxes of lobby cards. And he did. He's like, you're right. How do you remember that? The last time you were in my apartment was like in 1987, because then I moved to L.A. And he's like, you remember? I go, yeah. And he was telling me, it's so funny. He was telling me that he, he just took whatever he could. I go, everything you took was curated. The stuff you have is incredible. And he goes, no, I don't remember it that way. And then he started looking through it. He's been texting me. He's like, you were right. This is an incredible collection. I know. I said it's the greatest collection ever. I mean, you could go to heritage auctions and do a huge auction and probably make top dollar for it. And I might indeed do that. I don't know, depending on what. But I'm going to give the people of the channel a shot if anybody wants anything first, because it's otherwise, I put it up for auction because I do, I've got to give him money. But the stuff is really incredible. But a lot of people don't collect, nowadays, original movie posters are not, the demand for them is not what they used to be, because younger people don't collect. Like, I started collecting movie posters in the wake of Star Wars when I was 11 and 12 years old, because I wanted the theatrical posters for Star Wars. And I didn't even know, I saw movie posters, but you couldn't get them. But then there were 2 stores in Seattle that sold actual movie posters. And there was no internet or anything. So Golden Age Collectibles in a store called Intervisions. And it's interesting, when we were younger, what we would do is, so movie posters are folded. 1 sheets were folded down the middle, and then they had 3 folds horizontally. And that's just how they came, because they shipped them flat. So there were very few rolled movie posters of that era. So what we would do is this store called Intervisions would have a cardboard backing, a 27 by 41 cardboard backing, and they would shrink wrap your movie poster flat to the cardboard. So it looked shiny. It was a cheap way to be able to display your movie posters. So you had them backed. And what I would do, because I was insane, so I would put them on, not just on the walls of my bedroom, but I put them on my ceiling. And what I would do was I would pound nails in at an extreme angle on my ceiling, so you could slide the movie poster into the nail, and I'd put like 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3 on the other side, and 1 each, or sometime usually 1, but it would bow out a little bit, so it would curve like this and make it even tighter. So you're looking up, and then I hung from those nails, I hung model spaceships and model aircraft that I built. So I had hundreds of model ships hanging from my ceiling beneath the movie posters. So it was incredible. So, from the time I was in junior high and high school and way into college, and when I moved to California, I collected one sheets. And then when I started to make real money and I had my company in the 2000s, I bought the big paper, because movie posters are also there's 6 sheets that are 81 by 81 inches. And the only 6 sheet I currently still own is A Clockwork Orange. And those came in pieces. So you can put them on linen, and anyway, it's a long story. People are like, "What?" But yeah, so there's different kinds of movie posters, and I'm curious to see, because the artwork on those posters, he's probably got all the Bond posters. I used to have all the Bond posters. I sold my big movie poster collection to a previs company in here in LA called The Third Floor, that you see on my office. I used to have the floor of a building in 2004 through 2007, and they were upstairs. And when we left, they asked what happened to all my movie posters. I said I was going to put them in storage, and they're like, "We want to buy them." So they bought my entire collection for the low 6 figures. That was back when I had money. But they're great, and so it's going to be interesting to see what.
Just let me know, Rob. Just let me know if we do a show or not. Easy peasy.
Yeah, so I'll know that. So we might not be, only because I'd fly up into Seattle on Friday, load up the truck, and I'm going to drive back here.
If it's too nerve-wracking, Rob, we can easily take a week off.
Yeah, so if I go to Seattle, I'll tell you, but I'll announce that beforehand.
Yeah.
So
we have perhaps some super chats left, Rob, before we.
I don't think so. Let me see. Yeah, we do, actually. We have one. Richard Curtis says the animated Street Fighter 2, I've only seen dubbed. That and Shogun Assassin, both produced by Harvey Weinstein, I believe. I don't know if Shogun Assassin was produced by Harvey Weinstein. He might have done that. It was So Shogun Assassin, they actually included Shogun Assassin on the box set from Criterion of the Lone Wolf and Cub movies, the 6 Lone Wolf and Cub movies. Shogun Assassin is a combination of 2 Lone Wolf and Cub movies, and then it's dubbed over, and it has a electronic disco score, and it's narrated by Daigoro, the little kid. It's awesome. It's just awesome. If you haven't seen Shogun Assassin, it's the greatest thing ever. But an acquired taste, to be sure. And then I think we are... I think we're all caught up. Yep.
Okay. So,
that brings us to the end.
Michael, the biopic, next week. And on that note, jede Person, die du triffst, hat eine Geschichte zu erzählen, die du noch zu hören hast. Alles, was du tun musst, ist zuhören.
Every person you meet has a story to tell that you have yet to hear, and all you have to do is listen. And with that, I would say to everybody, you're going to see a lot more Robservations in the next 2 weeks, because I just I haven't done much at all of them this month. Only
do you do something with CinemaCon a little bit? Considering observation?
We've done so much. I mean, I might talk about CinemaCon a little bit, but I'm so CinemaCon'd out. I mean, I'll talk about some of the things that I think people should see, I guess.
Did you stumble into other persons? Jeremy Johns was there?
Oh yeah, no, we hung out. I hung out with Jeremy Johns a little bit. Yeah, I saw Jeremy Johns, and then Gotham Geek Girl, and of course Chris Gore was there, and
Chris.
There was, but they're kind of always there. They go every year.
Yeah. No.
We hung out. There's an executive from Paramount. I don't want to say who it is, but he's a friend of John's channel, and we hung out and talked, and he was so funny. He was giving me a mouthful about how we shit talk Paramount and the Warner Brothers acquisition. So this executive, because he's very pro Paramount, and he ran into me, and we sat with him. He came and sat with us for one of the panels, and he was just giving me a really hard time about what we're talking, because he's a fan. Like the people that I've ever talked to who've ever worked with him, he's a big fan of this. Executive is a big fan of David Ellison, and says, you know, David Ellison, like at meetings, big meetings, when it comes to what movies should get made, and he says that David Ellison always comes prepared. He's a terrific boss, and he's a great leader.
Okay.
And so, and I've only heard great things about David Ellison from everybody who's worked with him, developing projects and things like that.
Yeah.
So it doesn't surprise me, you know.
Okay.
But yeah, but it was so funny. He really laid into us, laid into me, because John wasn't around yet. I'm like, bro.
Oh,
So yeah, it was
that's
good.
what you're getting, bro.
Yeah, but it was fun. I mean, it's, you know, you run into all kinds of people there, and it's a lot of fun. But it's very, I mean, a lot of it is very much an industry. There's lots of like, you can see what are the latest projection systems and sound systems, and they have a whole room full of what kind of food you can sell in your theater. And
Yeah.
so it's very much, people are like, well, it's not like a Comic-Con. It's not like that at all. And it was called Show West for a long, long, long time. And then they changed it to CinemaCon. So, yeah. But on that note,
Okay.
we can end our show. I want to thank everybody
Sure.
for generously supporting the channel via Super Chats, tips, and the memberships and all that. We'll get back to, I was hoping to do a member call this week, but next week, if I'm not here, I can't do it. But if I am here, I will do it for sure. And, yeah. So that's it.
So see you next week or in 14 days.
Yes.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, maybe.